Everybody, welcome to day one, Breakfast with Bob from Daytav Challenge Roth. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA Fly Human Fly Master Spas, deboer Wetsuits, Outrigger Kona Resort and Spa, Stay Longer, Save More, and our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Mr. Shane Smith from Tri Travel, what I'm excited about. We have 34 members of our Tri Club of San Diego that are coming over this year after our chat last year.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's like having those guys over. I love San Diego, one of my favourite places in the world. Like, lived there for a while, as you know, working for Triathlete magazine.
Yes.
So to have all those guys over and talking about the surf and how beautiful San Diego is fantastic. But getting them here with the heat and everything, it's going to feel like home for them, I think.
Exactly. And they are all in, man. They did special race kits. They've got, I don't know how many different pieces of clothing that they've got with Challenge on one side, or Germany on one side, U.S. on the other. It's been really cool.
It's fantastic. And it's great. And that's the beauty of this program that we put together with Challenge Roth Tours. We work with an agent in the USA. That's Krista and Kelly, who you've met before.
Yes.
At RaceQuest. So they looked after all of their travel details. They were able to get them over here nice and safely. And now they're going to take them all around the Roth and showing them exactly where to be and at what times. And it's so good that we have this program that people from all over the world are coming here from different countries. It's fantastic. I love it.
And you started in this world as an athlete.
Yeah, a long time ago. a long time ago. I'm feeling my age now, I promise you, Bob.
So we're talking 1990. Are we
That's
talking
correct,
Welchie, Bevan, those type of Miles Stewart,
Yeah,
that era
that's
in
right.
Australia?
Yeah, and a very young Chris McCormack and those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And Nick Croft and all these absolute legends of the sport. I must admit, I feel very, very privileged that I was running around with those guys. Sometimes over here in Europe. I
Yes.
came over for a summer here and raced for a club called Sartreville in France.
Yes.
And we had all the big names racing in France in those days for clubs. Simon Lessing was there, Mike Pigg.
Yes.
We did this incredible race one year called Iron Tour.
I was going to say Iron Tour, right?
It was awesome. I absolutely
It's a multiple
loved it.
day race, right?
It was, and we all had team buses. I raced for Team Haribo, so there was 6 of us on that team, and we
Almost
had,
like cycling.
it was
with a
exactly the
bus.
same as Tour
Wow.
de France, really. That was based on that concept, except it was triathlon. So we did 7 races in 6 days, and the last day we raced from the bottom to the top of Alpe d'Huez and ran,
Oh my God.
ran 10K at the top. So
Oh my God.
yeah, it wasn't much fun, but geez, it was an amazing trip. So yeah, I feel really blessed that I think I raced through that golden era of triathlon when it was growing, which you were a huge part of.
Well, and just the fact that when you talk about Australia back then, and you're talking about going into, at that point, the Olympics was announced in '94 that it was going to launch in Sydney.
That's right,
And
yeah.
you guys were going to sweep medals for the men and the women.
Yeah, that's right. We got beaten by some Canadian guy, didn't we?
Some guy, and then McKeely, I think, got the only medal. She got
did.
the silver. And,
Yeah, that's
but it
right,
was,
so-
but the country was crazy.
It
It was
is.
the first event of the games.
Yeah, that's right.
And on purpose, because Lisa Lax was the producer for NBC, and she was a producer for the Iron Man TV show.
Right,
And
yeah.
she said, let's use triathlon as a travelogue to showcase the amazing opera house and
Yeah.
the bridge and everything else. And McKeely says to this day, the crowds were bigger than anything she's ever seen
It was
in her
incredible.
life.
Absolutely incredible. And it was organised by an incredible man called Dave Hansen, who was...
I don't think I ever knew him.
Yeah, so he was like Australia's #1 race director, along with Ken Baggs from the
Yeah,
Ironman
yeah.
days. So Ken and Dave pretty much put triathlon on the map with the way they created the sport
Yes.
there. And he put the Olympic Games together, all the stuff on the ground.
Wow.
So Dave's an incredible race director. He's retired now and surfing down in a little place called Anglesey, so he's having a pretty good life, which is great.
So when you were working was the first job after Pro Triathlon for Triathlete magazine, Triathlon Australia?
It was one. Yes, it was. Once I finished, I started at Australian Triathlete
Yes.
magazine. Ross Copeland and Sam Mitchell, as she was known at the time, they were the editors and the producer of the magazine.
Right.
So I got a little job there when I had finished. I was selling ads actually.
Okay.
And they realised I can't sell, so they turned me into an editor, which was great. So I ended up becoming the managing editor there, creating all the stories, and it was great. It was a really
That's
good way for
so
me to
fun.
learn things. It was good because I had the contacts to be able to bring in great writers. Mark Allen wrote for the magazine, brought in Peter Reed, all these sorts of people. So Australia really got exposed to some of the best minds of triathlon. Paul Huddle and Rock Frey, they did some writing for us down in Australia as well. And then, of course, I met our great friend John Duke, who then said, hey, mate, how about you come over and work in America, in San Diego.
So that's when you got to San Diego.
That's right. So I ended up at Triathlete magazine there, and I'm a bit of a glutton for punishment when it comes for work. And during that time, I actually started working for IMG, and I was the media manager and athlete liaison, pro athlete liaison for all the Ironman events. So
wow.
So that's how I started to learn the event.
So
game.
when IMG was involved with Ironman,
yeah. So you remember where they used to license the brands out? You had Lou Friedland and his team. Ben Furtick.
Yeah, Lou had Graham Fraser and Ironman, Ironman North America, and so he put on those events for him.
That's right.
But really, Ironman only had like 4 or 5 employees at that point.
That's right. And so in Australia, it was IMG who put it all together. So they owned the license for a long period of time.
Right.
So they created Foster. Foster was created before that. IMG took it over, and then during that period of time, Ironman West Australia was created, and then the Half Ironman series. So IMG really got involved, and I worked with them for about 15 years.
Oh, I didn't realize that long.
So,
wow.
Yeah, it was a long time, and then it changed, and WTC became an event company.
They wanted to own everything.
That's correct. Yeah, and I was sort of caught up in all of that, and I ended up working for Ironman for themselves for 3 or 4 years. So yeah, it was a really interesting period of time. It was probably the biggest change we've ever seen in our sport during that period.
No question.
With the changeover, like there was a changing of staff.
Well, because you had, back then, you could go to Wildflower and qualify for Kona.
Yes.
You can go to St. Anthony to qualify for Kona. So there were all these independent races that still had a vested interest in Ironman being successful.
Correct.
And Ironman had an interest in those guys being successful. But then when everything went in-house, then it was sort of us against, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if that was a positive or not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you ended up moving into the travel side.
Well, it did, and I always had the travel side even when I had the magazine. So I kind of had 3 jobs. It was crazy. So I had the travel stuff from about 2000. Worked with a great guy, Rod Morrison. He was a travel agent.
Yeah.
Had great staff. Yeah, Tiffany and Michelle and 2 other girls that worked on our business then, and it just grew and grew. We started with 15 people in Kona, then ended up about 200 people go to Kona. It's dropped off a little bit recently, just because of the swapping between.
I think it'll come back next year when everybody's men and women are together.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a good friend of mine came to at the time came to Roth. And he came home and told me, he said, you got to go to this race. And he took a couple of people with him on a small tour of 10 people. And this year for Challenge Roth Tours, we've got 520.
Wait, you have 520 here from
all over the world.
If somebody's in Europe, they can't go through your... How does it work?
They can. It's an international. You have to be international. You can't be local. It's international, and Felix has been fantastic. He's put entry slots away to help build that international numbers.
Yes.
So the beauty of it for Challenge is the more people that we can bring from overseas to see this event, they spend a lot of money within the community.
No question.
Yeah, I think our business alone would spend over 2 or 3 million euros in this local region alone, with hotels, trucks, buses, staff, that sort of stuff. So a lot of money gets pumped into it because the internationals are here for so much longer. So as you know, the San Diego crew, they're here for 7 days now. So
but then a bunch of them are going to Tour de France afterwards.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, I'm actually doing the same. Actually, I'm looking forward to that. So, but that one I'm actually going to enjoy. So, but it's it has been an amazing community we've been able to create, and to have 500 people here. But we couldn't have done it without the support of the race directors. I think the reason this is our #1 event, and it's so much bigger and better than any other tour that we do, and we do multiple tours around the world, is because of the support the race director and his team.
They want you.
Yeah, Felix and Catherine and Alice are just they're like family. They help us so much in being able to do these wonderful experiences for our athletes. Now, I wish some of the other race directors could see this and realise how much us looking after their customers actually benefits the event. The amount of extra information we can give them, the support we can help them with.
Well, I love what you're doing today. they get early into the store.
Yep.
Right. They
That's
come
correct.
down here
They
and go
do.
into the store.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have a little thing at 5 o'clock today where I'll interview Felix and Katrin.
Yeah.
And so they're getting they're with the race directors.
Absolutely.
If they have any
Yeah.
questions at all, they're with
right there.
the people who created this thing. It's their family.
Yeah.
That's pretty inside baseball type of stuff. They're getting back, sort of a back seat tour.
Yeah, absolutely. And then next year, like, this is how good the relationship is. Felix had an idea, and he said, I'd love to get a cruise ship into where they do the swim start and create some accommodation there. You know, the little flat boats that travel down the Danube? Yeah, so next year we've been able to do it.
That?
We've done it. So next year we'll be offering a cruise option. So it's got about 70 rooms, and we'll be able to look after about 120 people, and we're going to have a masseur on board, a bike mechanic. It'll be right near the turnaround of the swim. The viewing for the partners and spectators on that day will be incredible.
Unbelievable.
And it'll just putter around up and down the river, dropping people off at certain spots so they can watch the race. So it'll be one amazing experience. So it'll be incredible.
Could you imagine if they did a ship like that in Kona?
Oh, yeah. I always thought that years ago. You know, when those big cruise ships used to come in all the time? I'm not sure if they're back yet, but that was before COVID.
They
but
are,
I always thought, geez, it would be nice to hire one of them out and do
my
it.
God, hell, I want to keep it there for 10 days.
Fantastic. Oh, it'd be awesome.
So I've always felt that the best welcome mat part of this is relay. All right, so many people start going, hey, we're putting a team together. You swim at the pool all the time. Come on, do the swim.
Absolutely.
Next thing you know, they're in our sport.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah,
and
we do.
And when the 500 people that come, are there a number of them relays?
Yeah, there is a few. What we try not to do is take too many of the relay slots, because they're fantastic for the local people.
I get it.
So we get about 15 slots a year for teams,
relay.
Relay. And it works nicely. It's an easy number for us to manage. But I agree with you. It gives them their first chance of a big international event.
Right.
It gives some people an opportunity to do something as part of a big group and feel really safe.
And feel like they're doing, they're feeling their part. And feeling okay to buy merchandise.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't necessarily want to buy merchandise if you feel like, it's just a spectator. What the heck? I don't deserve that. Yeah.
We really look after our spectators here, particularly on race day. We've got a VIP viewing area set up right at the swim start, right near the cannon there.
Yeah, I know, we were jealous.
Yeah,
we were jealous. What am I doing over here?
Well, you're welcome to join us this year.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have coffee and muffins. We've got all the food set up.
I love it.
And it's also a nice spot for the athletes to sit and wait for their wave start to come.
Right.
So it's a real benefit of the tour for people. So that's great. Then we walk them over to Solarberg, watch the amazing crowds there. We've got a roped off area there for them to sit. We've got sandwiches for them, drinks and everything. Then we put them on buses and we take them to a pub in the middle of Roth. And it's at the 20-kilometre mark and the 40-kilometre mark of the run. And we sit there all day drinking steins and just enjoying.
I think we missed that part.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Producer John is just
that's the one you want to go to. Yeah. It's good fun.
Very cool. So how many different events do you take people to?
Yeah, at the moment, I think we've got about 14 different tours that we work on.
All triathlon?
We've got the London Marathon and New York Marathon, which is really important. New York Marathon is absolutely amazing.
I bet it's
for
crazy.
Us. Yeah, it's one of the iconic events, and I think you've been there a number of times, haven't you?
Yep.
So they used to have a relationship with triathlon as well. You could qualify for it and all the rest of it. So it's an incredible place to go to. So we love the New York Marathon. We love the London Marathon as well. And then, of course, this is our biggest event.
This is your number one of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the one we really love as well, and we put a lot of energy into. And also Hawaii as well. Hawaii is our original tour. We just need that to get back to the way it was, where we're all there, all together.
It's a community. It's a family. You don't want them separate.
Because once you see it here, this is the one of the best events in the world, I think, about bringing people together. You just have to look at this expo. We've got every bike brand here. We've got every shoe brand here. HOKA are absolutely fantastic supporters, and they're building this incredible place. But there's other shoe companies here, which Felix isn't worried about, and neither are any of the sponsors. And neither are the sponsors.
Back in the day with rock and roll, Brooks was the number one shoe, right? They were the official shoe. they wanted the other shoe brands there because they felt for the consumer, the best experience is they might only do one marathon a year.
Correct.
They need to see everything that's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still think if you did a shoe count here, HOKA will be number one.
Oh,
anyway.
there's no
So,
question. I mean,
so,
HOKA's the official shoe of triathlon, man.
Absolutely.
They're unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic, aren't they? Yeah, I've been wearing them for years. When you get old and your knees hurt after all those marathons we've done, they're the best shoes in the world, aren't they?
They're best shoes in the world. And it's so funny. What I love seeing is I'll be out at these high school track meets, right? And kids are wearing HOKA.
They are,
They're
exactly.
Really, they're full range, all
Yes.
runs.
Yeah.
So how much time do you get to spend at home?
Oh, I'm not too bad these days, actually. I've got two girls. One plays football. She's a professional footballer. You know, the Australian rules football.
Oh, she plays Australian rules.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
So they've got a women's league there now, which has been growing incredibly quickly. It's been going for 10 years now. So she's only young, but she's made it through to that. And so I like to be home to watch her play. My daughter works within the industry as well. She works on all of our events. We own a couple of fun runs there called the Gold Coast 50 and the Gold Coast 30. So we have 10,000 runners a year go through our events. So my daughter works on them. So I try and stay home as much as I can, but would never ever miss this event.
Of course
this is number one. Yeah. I'll never forget how depressed I was during that period of COVID that I knew I couldn't get to Europe because the whole of Australia was closed and we just couldn't get out of the country. So I was very jealous when our UK team, we've got a great team in the UK who are now becoming a part of Tri Travel Global. So we're setting up Tri Travel United Kingdom.
Oh, nice.
And they came and run those events for us. And they've been incredible support throughout the years as well.
Shane, thank you so much for taking such good care of our Tri Club of San Diego folks. They've been They've been just so excited about this. This whole last year was we're going to Challenge Roth. We're going to Challenge Roth.
Well, I'm sure they're going to have a great experience with this. It looks like it's going to cool down a little bit tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which is good. It's going to drop about 10 degrees, which is great. So fingers crossed, it's like that for race day.
All right. Shane Smith has been our guest again. Breakfast with Bob from a beautiful Challenge Roth. Hold on. We'll be right back.